Hello all, welcome to Colney. Michael Bailey, Paddy Davitt here, just after the press conference ahead of the Rotherham game with Alec Neil and Michael McGovern in the end. There was a few question marks over which player we were going to get in the end, but Michael McGovern came in. We should start off with the injury news though, which all seemed really positive, Pad.
Yeah, well, specifically the two lads who went off on international duty, Robbie Brady and Tim Closer. Closer, fine, no problem, just precaution. Which, to be fair, I was watching the game. I didn't think there was anything more than that, really. But Robbie Brady was far more serious, clearly. You know, as we all, I'm sure, saw the pictures, stretchered off, knocked out on the pitch, neck brace, oxygen mask, and tripped to hospital. But nice little anecdote from Alex Neil. He revealed that Robbie Brady had replied to his text in the hospital, said he was fine. He didn't remember, obviously, too much in the immediate aftermath of the incident, but it wasn't anything major-wise, memory loss. But clearly, that's a serious incident. So they've been monitoring him all week. And my reading of that was, I don't think we'll see him tomorrow. I think it's far too soon. He hasn't probably done too much work as well since they got back. So why risk him, basically? But Closer, good news. And then, yeah, obviously a few more updates on Malumbu and McGrandles and Remy Matthews, all slightly going to be longer term, but making good progress.
It's interesting because concussion rules have been a subject of discussion in recent years, haven't they? So they need to be mindful of that anyway, which Alec touched on.
Yeah, I asked him that, yeah, with the parallel, obviously, clearly with rugby, and he said I think it'd be 9 days after the incident by kick-off Saturday, so I don't think that would be an issue in terms of the protocols, but yeah, as he reiterated, it isn't about whether Robbie Brady is fit to play against Rotherham, it's whether, you know, his health is good and he's recovered, because that was, anybody who was watching the game, pretty sickening incident, but thankfully it looks like we're okay, and onward to Rotherham. Yeah,
I mean, everyone's had a bit of a recharge. The players who were still around came in last week, did a full week, then had a few days off, according to Alex. So you got the sense of kind of recharged batteries, and it is a slight trip hazard, isn't it, at the weekend, which I think Alec was mindful of.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, particularly after such a positive result at Wolves just prior to the break, as I said to him, the task on Saturday surely is just to try and hit the ground running again and pick up that momentum, and he said, yeah, that's exactly what they're looking to do. Okay, we all know they've had lads away, which is then cut into what you'd like to do in terms of preparation, so they're not going to be, it's safe to say, fully prepared for Rotherham in contrast to a normal working week outside of the international break, but that's the way it is. If you've got international players, you've got to deal with it, and yeah, and obviously, as we all know, you know, a team at the very foot of the table, coming to Carrow Road, Norwich looking decent now, good shape, 23 points from 11 games. It's a potential banana skin, so, you know, I don't think we can expect them to brush them aside. As Alex Neil made the point, the performances don't match the results. He thinks they're a far better side than their league standing, so he's expecting a tough game, and I think that needs to be the message. You know, as I said to Michael McGovern just now, you know, I'm sure inside the camp there won't be any complacency, because let's be honest, the majority of the Norwich fans who turn up Saturday will expect Norwich to turn them over and turn them over well, but as we've seen, sadly, already this season, that isn't always the script.
Yes, you will. So remember to not be too expectant when you get to Carrow Road. It was interesting. Alec Neil said, as you mentioned, Rotherham kind of in a false position also, that they've had 10 days probably to prepare for this game, whereas, like I said, Norwich probably have had a couple. Yeah,
that sounds about right. Yeah, and also the last 2 games before the break, I think they pushed Huddersfield and Newcastle close. So, you know, you see the quotes coming out from Alan Stubbs. He knows it's a major mission to come here and get anything, but you know, they look to be a club who maybe just, clearly he went in there in the summer, it's going to take time to get his methods across, but you just sense they might have turned the corner. So yeah, no, Norwich will have to be bang at it Saturday.
I like talking to Michael McGovern. He seems like a grounded, lucid individual. I like him a lot. He's quite realistic about the fact that he's not a shoot-in number one now, but you know, he's enjoying himself.
So he should, yeah. I mean, he's got his big move, hasn't he? You know, after what he did in the Euros for Northern Ireland, and his career's in a really nice phase now, both for club and country. And but I think because, yeah, to touch on, as you say there, I think because he's had to come the circuitous route and he's had it, you know, far from glamorous, some of the outposts he's been at, I don't think he's going to take too much for granted, even though he, at the minute, is dislodged on Ruddy, so he knows he's basically got to keep performing. And to be fair to the lad, he's doing that. I mean, as I said to him, you know, that Wolves game, Norwich have won it in the end, but he made a great save at 1-0, and they brought the lad Dicko on at the far post, and it's those key moments in key games where you need your keeper to stand up, and he's certainly doing that at the minute.
Dare I say, I think Norwich might win by more than 1 goal on Saturday.
Well, let's hope you're right, mate.
Do you want to make a prediction, or?
Not really the way my record's going this season, but yeah, Norwich to win. Obviously, it'd be a major shock, wouldn't it? Surprise, for all we've said about no complacency, but as it stands, they haven't battered any side, so I don't expect that to happen tomorrow. But odd goal in 3 maybe.
And we'll take it, most definitely. You can probably make your predictions on the Pinken website, can't you? Pinken.com. Have your guests alongside us. You'll probably be much better. And we'll have all the preview material, all the reaction and analysis on Pinken.com and Mustard TV, of course. And don't forget, live coverage, Pinken.com/live of the game with me on Saturday. I'm Paddy too. Until then, have fun, enjoy it.